Well, I just completed turns 1 and 2, so I'll show you what's happened. The Union had the initiative, and the 3rd Illinois Cavalry took a reserve move and dismounted behind this hedge line near to Von Ketteringham's farm. So they got the jump there. And if I move you across slightly, the 8th Illinois Cavalry, which were here, they also took a reserve move, and they now got themselves behind that hedge line at the clay farm. That was their all they had on the board, and so they all did their moves. Can't fire this turn because they've moved, but lined up on the table edge, ready for turn 3, which is the Union turn next. We have the 1st Division all ready to come on. The 3rd Brigade, oops, went the wrong way, 2nd Brigade, and it's got to be the 1st Brigade, hasn't it? So the 1st Brigade at that side, they're opposite Paynes Hill. Let's zoom out a bit so you can see a bit better. So all along this edge we're going to have a full division coming onto the table. And then 3 points, the 3 separate brigades of the 1st Division will be coming onto the table. In turn 2, move you again. Turn 2. Wilcox's brigade moved up from back there on the start line, and they occupied the fields at the Von Ketteringham farm. They've got a piece of artillery in the centre there on the road, a couple of regiments either side in the hedge, defending the hedge line, and 1 regiment in reserve. I managed to do that. That was the first activation. What I will point out is these cavalry are still there and dismounted. We ran out of activation before I could do anything with them, but they would have to have been done on they could have been done on a brigade move because the commander's with them there. So I could have done that, but I'd run out of activation for the Confederates. Moving back across here on Paynes Hill, Wofford's brigade with 2 artillery batteries occupied that hill, so they're now in place. Next to them here is the dismounted cavalry. Again, I'd run out of initiative cards, so they were unable to mount up and go to the aid of their colleagues down here who are facing these Union troops. And finally, in the distance, you can see you can just about see the 3 markers. We've got Sims' brigade, Mahon's brigade. Oh no, sorry, just the 2. That's an hour over there. It's just those 2 with the commanders attached. So we've got Sims' brigade and Mahon's brigade, who will be coming onto the table at the beginning of turn 4, their next turn. So that's what's happened so far. No firing, no shooting. That might change in the next turn. So back shortly. Right, done turn 3 and turn 4. On turn 3, the Union activated the 3rd Brigade of the 1st Division, and here they are. They've moved onto the table. They could only move the usual move because you can't get any close to use a group move, a reserve move. You've got to be more than 4 away from an enemy. Well, there's some skirmishers there, and that move, they then ran out of initiative, so they couldn't, because there was 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, and I think on the 7th card they turned the Joker, so that was the end of their initiative. However, the skirmishers did fire. It reduced dice because of the hedge lines, but they scored 1 hit on. Let's have a look and see if you can see that. So the 8th Illinois Cavalry fired on the 3rd Virginia Cavalry, scoring 1 hit. And while we're here, in the Confederate turn, they returned a favour. They fired and they scored 1 hit as well. So there's a bit of a firefight going on here between these dismounted cavalry troopers. On the rebel side, where's my notes? Both Senn's brigade and Mahon's brigade were both able to advance before they ran out of initiative. So here, coming in onto Clay's farm, that was as far as they could go with the reserve move, because again there was Union troops down here. You can't see. There was Union troops down here, so they can't come within 4 base width, so that's as far as they could get. But they've come on. They've unlimbered their artillery, so they'll be safe for firing next time if they wish. So they're onto the table. And over here on Palmer's Ridge, Mahon's brigade have advanced. So they've taken up position, and they've also unlimbered their artillery. And that was it. The Confederate, 2 batteries of Confederate artillery on the hill were in range of these units, but they chose not to fire. He's saving his ammunition. And again, over here, away at Von Kettringham's farm, that artillery piece on the road, can you see it? The artillery piece on the road could have fired at these dismounted cavalry, but again, would have been, they considered that to be a waste of a shot. These cavalry aren't going to do anything, so they didn't engage. So that's the end of turn 3 and 4. We've still got these 2 Union brigades backed up because they couldn't get on because of would run out of initiative. So next turn the rest of all the troops will be on the table, hopefully, if there's space for them. So join me for part turn 5 and 6. Right, it's end of turn 5 and 6, pretty short moves due to activations. The only brigade the Union could activate was the 1st Brigade of the 1st Division, which came on and has moved its maximum of 2 towards Payne's Hill, or the extreme right of Payne's Hill. The only other action was, once again, firing wise, was that the get it right, was that yeah, the 8th Illinois Cavalry engaged the 3rd Virginia Cavalry, and again they scored another hit, so there's now 2 crosses on that. On the Confederate turn, they too fired back, but they didn't register a hit. And on the Rebel turn, apart from firing, over there there was just a little bit of, just over here so you can see better, just a little bit of readjustment by Mahon's brigade on Palmer's Ridge. The final Confederate brigade is there on the table ready to advance, but activation, the Joker came up, so there was no activation for them, so it's pretty much a stalemate at the moment. There's no, you know, the lack of activation is stopping anything moving. These Union troops are on the table but can't move yet, and all the way along the line we've got Union troops waiting till these have moved, but of course there's still two Union brigades, one from each division, still waiting to come onto the table. There's no room for them. So that's the end of that's the end of turn 5 and 6. So hopefully you join me for the next turn. At the end of turn 7, the Union move. The 1st Brigade of the 1st Division has advanced forward, and this has allowed space for the 2nd Brigade of the 1st Division to come onto the field. It does put them now within range of those rebel cannon up on Payne's Hill. Initially I was thinking it was 10 base widths, and so I was saying that these cavalry down here before were in range. Well, actually I was wrong. I double checked and it's 8 base widths, so they couldn't have taken a shot at them even if they'd wanted to. So that was my error. Next thing what happened, if I move you across, is the Union got a brilliant initiative this time. They didn't pull the Joker. The 2nd Brigade of the 3rd Division managed to advance, making so that made space now for the 3rd Brigade of 2nd Division of 3rd Division to come in. So now all the Union troops are on the field, and finally they activated, and 1st Brigade of 3rd Division's advanced. They've unlimbered their artillery, so has this brigade as well. Both have unlimbered their artillery, so they are available to fire next turn. And the only other thing that happened, the only firing that happened, is the same old thing, where we've got the 8th Illinois Cavalry engaging the 3rd Virginia Cavalry down there. But on this occasion there was no hits. So that's turn 7. Now turn 8 for the Confederates. Right, turn 8 was the Confederates' turn, and they chose not to do any brigade activations, although that brigade is still on the back line there. It's staying there as a reserve at the moment. So what they did some individual actions, regimental actions, and then for that they mounted up the 3rd Virginia. They also mounted up the 4th Virginia, and way over on Kitteringham's farm they also mounted up the 1st and 2nd Virginia Cavalry. So they're going to be skedaddling pretty soon, I would think. There was some firing, only artillery fire. Up over here on Payne's Hill, these two batteries opened fire. Carlton's Georgia artillery fired onto the 23rd New Jersey and scored one hit. Don't know if you can see that. There's a cross there now on the New Jersey regiment. And next door, Reed's Georgia artillery fired on the 15th New Jersey, which is next door here, and they too have got an X on their little strip. So they've taken one hit. Remember, these are all valued at 6. They've got an elan of 6, all the infantry. So that was a successful barrage at this side of the field. Then, in the centre, cannon smoke's blown. Well, it would blow away, I suppose. But there's a couple of smoke. Then across here, we've got the Huger's Virginia artillery, which is there, fired on the 36 New York, and they scored one hit, so there's an X. And finally, and I forgot to put some smoke on it, but that artillery unit there is Manly's North Carolina artillery, and they fired on the 120, you can't see that, can you? They fired on the 122nd New York, and they also scored a hit. So all 4 cannon that opened up all scored one hit. So 4 of the Union regiments have now suffered one loss of elan, and also the Rebs are going to be able to get their cavalry brigade out of the way now they're mounted up, well, assuming that they use a movement to move them off, because obviously you have to use single activations for them because they're spread out. Commander's over here at VK Farm, from Kettringham's Farm, and the other 2 are across there near to Payne Hill, so it would have to be individual regimental actions. And again, with this, I didn't say it before, but I think it's pretty obvious, where Blucher is normally brigades, i.e. each one of these stands would be a brigade, because I'm only using 6mm and I've got a large table, plus I've got a large number of troops, I'm able to take it right down to regimental level. So although we've got the equivalent of 2 corps on the field, and that's made up of a total of 4 divisions, I'm able to field enough stands to do it at regimental level. So I'm quite pleased with that. Obviously it makes it more work, and there's more record keeping. I'm having to keep copious notes so that when I come back for the turn, I have to, I can tell you exactly who's fired on who and what's done what, rather than keep trying to lift bits of paper and look. So I try and keep it a bit professional, although not much chance of that with me doing it. But anyway, that's the end of turn 8. So it'll be turn 9 and it'll be the Union initiative next time. But I'll make that into another part, another video. So thanks for watching this bit. Bye for now.